Hi everybody, today we're going to learn about x and y intercepts. Now you already know about y-intercepts. You know that it is the point where the line hits the y-axis. Today we're also going to learn about x-intercepts, and I bet you can guess what that means. So first of all, a little warm-up on a graph here. Let's say this is the height of a balloon as it loses air and drops to the ground. So answer me question 1. How high above the ground was the balloon when it started deflating? So what do you guys think? I'm hoping you guys would say 8. Because at time 0, before it started deflating, the balloon was up at 8 feet. And then it says, when did it hit the ground? So now we're traveling through the balloon's journey. When it hits the ground, that would be at height 0. So if you follow that over, it looks like it hits the ground right here at 4, and this looks like minutes. Okay, so these points are very important in math. This one's called the y-intercept, and this one's called the x-intercept. Let's write that down. So this is the x-intercept. And this one is the y-intercept. Okay, and there's something really special about intercepts. So the x-intercept is the location where a graph crosses the x-axis. Duh, right? X-axis, x-intercept, easy. And the cool thing about an x-intercept is the y value is always 0. And then the y-intercept is the location where the graph crosses the y-axis. Okay, duh. Y-axis is the y-intercept. And the cool thing about the y-intercept is that the x value is always 0. So the other one is always 0. Okay, so an example here, the x-intercept would be here, and the y-intercept would be here. And yeah, that's it for that. So why do we care about x and y-intercepts? They end up giving us important information about lines, like where the time is 0 or where the height is 0. So really important, x and y-intercepts. Okay, so let's do some. So given a graph, can you guys just simply tell me what the x and y-intercept are? So number 1, the x-intercept, just look where the graph crosses the x-axis, and the y-intercept, look where the graph crosses the y-axis. So I'm hoping you guys say the x-intercept is right here at 1, and the y-intercept is right here at -2. Now, I know you can't see the negative sign, but if it's down, it's always negative. Now, one thing I want to point out that I don't care about is that, remember, if you're writing them as ordered pairs, the x-intercept always has the y being 0, and the y-intercept always has the x being 0. You don't have to write that. You can just write 1 and -2, but something good to know that the other one is always 0. All right, number 2. The x-intercept is here at 1, and the y-intercept is up here at 3. Again, if you're writing them as ordered pairs, this would be 1, 0, and this one would be 0, 3. The other one is always 0. Okay, now let's do it based on an equation. How can we find the x and y intercepts? Okay, so remember guys, an x-intercept is when y equals 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewrite it. 2x plus 7y equals 28. I'm just going to rewrite the problem. Remember, an x-intercept is when the y is 0. So if we were to plug in 0 here, let's rewrite what we have. We now have 2x, but what's 7 times 0? Isn't that just 0? So it kind of just eliminates this whole thing. So now we just have 2x equals 28, and then can't we just solve for x? Divide by 2, divide by 2, and 28 divided by 2 is 14. Okay, so the x-intercept ends up being at 14. All right, let's try the same thing for the y-intercept. I'm just going to rewrite the problem first. 2x plus 7y equals 28. Okay, now for a y-intercept, x is 0. So we're going to plug in 0 for x. But what's 2 times 0? Isn't that 0? So just cross it off. And then solve what's left. If 7 times y equals 28, let's solve for y. So divide by 7, y equals 4. So the y-intercept is just 4. Okay, so actually pretty easy, right? All right, let's try another one. So again, I'm just going to rewrite it. 3x plus 2y equals 6. Okay, to find the x-intercept, we plug in 0 for y. But what's 2 times 0? 0, so just get rid of it. And then now we just have to solve what's left. If 3x equals 6, then you guys know what to do. Divide by 3 both sides, x equals 2. So the x-intercept is at 2. And then I think you guys can do this one on your own. 3x plus 2y equals 6. Now the y-intercept, we set the x equal to 0. But again, what's 3 times 0? It's just 0, so cross it off and solve what's left. So if 2y equals 6, divide by 2, we get y equals 3. So the y-intercept is 3. Awesome. All right, last one, and these are actually really easy. These are the easiest ones. If I give you guys a table, can you find me the x and y intercepts? Okay, so let's see. The x-intercept is wherever y equals 0. So go ahead and find y equals 0 and just trace it over to find x. It looks like at 0, x is -1. Okay, so that would be the x-intercept. Then the y-intercept would be where x equals 0, and that's right here. You want to find the y value, so 3. All right, let's try one more. Number 6. The x-intercept is where y equals 0. So that's right here. What is the x? -1. Now the y-intercept is when x equals 0. And what is the y? -7. All right, awesome, guys. So that is x and y intercepts. Thanks for watching.